Hey everybody, Brent here from Music 214, and today I'm going to give you this many tips on how to develop your ear as a musician. All right, so what does it mean to develop your ear? Like, when I say that, what I'm really talking about is your ability to hear something and recognize what it is or understand what it is that you're hearing. And then also to be able to play things that you hear in your head and also be able to reverse engineer it like that. Some people are born with what's called perfect pitch, which means that they are automatically able to hear a note and know exactly what it is. So for instance, they could hear something as simple as a car horn and be able to tell you if that's an F or an E flat. Now, that's only about 1 in every 10,000 people. For the rest of us mere mortals, we have what's called relative pitch, which means we have to work towards developing a musical ear so that we can get better at hearing these things and get better at hearing things like melodies and chord progressions and recognizing them maybe from things we've done before, or just understanding what we're hearing compared to something else. So maybe we hear a melody and we hear that series of notes and we can understand what scale it is or something like that. So here's 5 tips to develop your musical ear. Number 1, learn songs by ear. Now, when I say learn songs by ear, that means as soon as you're ready to learn a song, don't just run to the internet, grab chords. Don't just run to YouTube and get an instructional video on how to play it. Try to figure it out. Try to mess around a little bit on your instrument, in this case guitar, and just try to see if you can match the notes. You're going to start very general, thinking like, it sounds like those notes are kind of high up on the neck, or they sound like they're kind of low, or it's a lot of notes, or it sounds kind of minor, sad, or major, happy, that kind of thing. And just start fooling around, see if you can try to figure it out. It's only recent that we've had things like YouTube and chords and internet to even be able to go and just immediately be taught how to play these songs. For years and years and years prior to this, every musician had to just sit down, play, repeat, and just try to mimic what they were hearing. And that helps you understand a little bit better what that person's playing. Number 2, and similar to that, find out what you're playing. So maybe you do go find tabs or something like that, or somebody shows you how to play a song with chords or certain notes, and they just say, put your finger here, 3rd fret, 5th fret, whatever. Well, then take it a step further and figure out what you're playing. What are these notes that I'm playing on my neck? Why did the guitar player choose those notes? How does that, affect the chords, and how do they balance with the chords and work with the chords and all these different things? Understand what you're playing, not just how to play it and where to put your fingers, but understand what notes am I playing, and then, are they chosen from a certain scale or, that kind of thing. That way you can take it and transfer it and start actually using it in your own stuff rather than just only be able to play that thing. Number 3, for guitar players especially, start paying attention to chords. Our brains are wired for melodies. That means when we listen to a song for the first time, we're mostly drawn to what the melody's doing. And that is mostly, 99% of the time, the singer. And then after that is rhythm. We have an innate ability to understand rhythm and be able to stamp our feet or clap or dance or whatever. So those 2 things are the most important things that our brains process. Underneath that is the foundation for chords. But there's only a finite amount of chords, and there's only so many chord progressions we can have. So you're going to start hearing the same ones over and over. So we need to really start listening to the chords so that, once we know that, this chord progression goes with this song, if we ever hear it again, we can start going, oh, I remember that from this other song and I understand what that was in that song. So that's probably something similar in this one. It's unlike a melody. There's so many different melodies you can make, but there's only so many chord progressions that we use. So if you really start paying attention, you'll start recognizing them again and again and again in different songs, and then be able to use them for your own songs when you start writing music. Number 4, sing more. I always tell people, all my students, if you're going to learn to play a guitar solo, you should be able to sing it first. That really shows that your brain understands what's going on and the melodies and the rhythms and stuff like that. So instead of just trying to fumble through on the guitar with certain notes, sing it. So that way you're trying to make a connection between your brain and the melody that you're hearing. So if you're trying to play a guitar solo, maybe your favorite Guns N' Roses guitar solo or the Crazy Train guitar solo or whatever solo you're trying to learn, sing it first. If you can do a good job singing it, and I don't mean a great singing job, I just mean, can you sing along with it and kind of hit where all the notes are and stuff like that, that will help you. And then when you do go back and figure out what notes you're playing, you're going to have a much better sense of melody and have a much better connection to your brain with the things that you're hearing. Number 5, Learn some music theory. All this stuff that we're talking about only makes sense if you understand things like notes and scales and things like that. So, you know, if you learn a guitar solo, for instance, and you're showed how to play it and put your fingers here, or maybe you use tab, but you don't have any connection to music theory, then it's only going to be useful if you play that song. You're going to have a hard time figuring out how to take those things you learn when you learn that solo and use it in other situations. So you kind of have to know a little bit of the universal music language, which is music theory. And I'm not talking about necessarily learning how to read music or getting too deep into it, but just understand basic foundation. There's 12 notes, what they are, sharps and flats, and just understand what it is you're playing. And in order to do that, you're going to have to know some music theory. So maybe take some lessons, find some videos, that kind of thing, and just understand how scales work and how chords work and how they work together. And you'll have a much better understanding of music, and then you'll be able to connect what you're playing or what you're hearing with an actual note or an actual scale. Everybody, thanks for watching. I hope that helped you. If you're somebody that's looking to take the next step, ear training is the most important thing you can do. The best guitar players have great ears. They can listen to the other musicians. They can listen to songs and figure them out. And it'll get you out of a lot of jams where you don't necessarily know exactly what's going on, but you can kind of use your ear to navigate what's happening. So make sure to do that. Click the like button, subscribe to this channel, keep coming back, click the bell if you want to be notified when there's new content coming. There's always new content coming, and hopefully together we can work together, make you a better musician, make you a better guitar player. Thanks for watching. Cheers.